Hello and welcome back to whatever this is. Today we are going on a little bike ride out onto this peninsula type thing. It's about 5 kilometers out to the tip, and we're going to try and find 5 interesting things, and I will show them to you. I'm not sure I will find 5 interesting things, but if I don't, I will find some things and pretend that they're interesting. And you can try and guess which of the ones are the real interesting things. I mean, maybe it will be obvious, but I will try to convince you that the 5 things I find, they are interesting. So, let's go! Bingo! Only 2.5 kilometers into our bike ride, we found the first interesting thing. It's this! And as you can see, it's a massive boulder. That in itself is quite interesting. But another thing is that the color, it's so dark compared to the rest of the rocks around. It's only grays and maybe some reddish hues up there. This one is the only one that's nearly black, and that's quite cool. So yeah, I'm happy. Already one interesting thing, and it's so massive. Looks like it's been split into 3 by maybe a giant or a god thousands of years ago. Well, actually it's millions of years old, we know, but oh, it's like 4 meters tall almost. 3, 4. Yeah, no, it's cool. So this is really interesting, and it's a good start to the adventure. We just need to find 4 more things, and yeah, let's go and find more interesting things. Alright, we found another interesting thing, and again, it's of a geological nature, but that shouldn't be surprising. I mean, we are out in a place that contains a lot of rocks and a lot of dirt and a lot of nature, so it's going to be it's about 50% chance that the interesting things are going to be geological. Now, this thing, it's not only because it looks cool. I think this is just a cool looking, I don't know, maybe we are too close to see it, but you saw it down there. It's not only because it looks cool that I think it's interesting, but if we go up here and take a look at this rock formation above the pretty looking one, we can see that it's comprised of gravel, and actually it was formed, oh, almost fell down. This was probably sea bottom or something, but hundreds of millions of years ago it was probably, if we look straight up, it would probably be 1 or 2 kilometers of ice straight above us, and it was pressing down on all this loose gravel. And it was probably a very long glaciation period, and it formed this. It's called a tillite, I think. Not sure how to pronounce it, but it's cool that loose masses can solidify into this. And yeah, as I said, hundreds of millions of years ago. It was probably formed when the Earth, when the continents were all one big continent, like Pangaea, I think it was. So yeah, that's cool. Also, what do we see? Well, nothing more interesting, but we can have a look around. I think it's quite a beautiful place. Out here is the Varangerfjord, That's the south side of the fjord and the north side. And actually, if you can bear with me, let's talk a little bit more about geology, because the whole fjord, it's the only fjord in Norway that's not actually a fjord. Fjords are created by glaciers who are digging, pushing masses out and making grooves in the terrain, but this was not created as a fjord. It doesn't have in the mouth, like the open part of every fjord, there is a mound of loose masses that the glaciers have pushed out. That doesn't exist in our fjord here, because, as I said, it's not a classic fjord. And what's special about it is that on this side, the south side of the fjord, the mountains and the rock species, if you can say that, I'm not sure about the terms, but billions of years old. It's one of the oldest types of rock or mountain in Norway. And on the north side, much younger and sedimentary types of rocks. Just like on what we're sitting on, it's also sedimentary rock made by layers and layers and layers and layers. So this wasn't created like a fjord, it's just a split between two different kinds of rock. So thank you for sitting through all that. That's the short version of what is special about our fjord. That is not a fjord in the classical sense. It's also the only the only fjord that faces east in Norway. So I don't know why that is so special, but that's interesting because it's unique. So let's find more interesting things. Let's go. And please forgive me for harping on about this this Tillite, as it's called, but I'll show you some more footage of just how cool it is. See, also huge rocks stuck inside, and this massive one, it's all part of the same layer that's been crushed by the ice. I'll show you some more cool pictures and maybe not talk over them. Wow, look at this big rock. Probably 50 or 60 kilos. That's cool, all part of the Tillite. I'm tempted to say that just this area is an interesting thing in and of itself, even disregarding the footage from the Tillite. This massive layer of the Tillite. Look at this cool hanging bush type thing. Okay, I'm calling it now. This is an interesting thing in and of itself, this whole area, because it's just a bit magical. I don't know if it looks magical to you, but standing here 10 meters up there, 20 maybe. All these cool little things. It's just, it looks quite alien, the whole area, because of all this. Well, I guess the main star of the show is this Tillite rock that's been crushed by the hundreds of millions years old ice age, because it's obviously been attached up there and it's fallen down here and created interesting and unique shapes. It's very, no, I love it. This is great. There's still berries on the tree. And what are these called? Is it rowan berries? Is it wrong in Norwegian? So they're still red, even though winter is coming. But that's how they always behave, I guess. It's a nice touch of color in the otherwise sort of bleak time. Now this is interesting. What the hell? Who needs a ladder here? There is nothing, nothing around. No buildings, no nothing. Just a random ladder. That's quite interesting. Huh. Can you climb it? Ooh. It's holding. Huh. The nails aren't even rusted here. Oh, that's great. A little ladder. That's amazing. Why though? It's cool and interesting, but I don't understand why. It'd be a good place to have a rest. Up top of the ladder. Top of the ladder to you. Oh, that's wrong. Yes, let's sit on the ladder and look at the sea. I can see something you can't see. There are some duck birds out there. They're probably too small, and I can't zoom for you, so you'll just have to trust me. All right. So random ladder. That's random. Let's find more interesting things. All right, that's the end of that trip. We were going to find 5 interesting things, and I kind of lost count, but I think we found at least 5. And I hope you can forgive that it was a bit geology heavy, but we are outside, there are plenty of rocks. We have to at least look at the most interesting rocks. So yeah, if you stayed until now, thank you for watching. That's surprising to me. And yeah, until next time, bye bye.